So, originally I was gonna make a video comparing RC, the Earthrise, and the Studio series, but there's just one tiny little problem with that video. I want to do a stop motion little gag at the end of the video, and it'll take a little bit of extra time. So I just decided, I'll put it on the back burner for now, and, well, funnily enough, another video that I want to do is comparing another controversial Earthrise figure with the newer, considered better, Studio Series 86 figure. Difference is, I think both these two figures are way better than the two RC figures. And that is Earthrise RC, Earthrise Ironhide, and the Studio Series. Because I don't really think there's a video about this, at least right now. There probably will be eventually, but I think this might be the first time. And the reason for that is, if you already have this guy, how much better is this figure? Like, do you need to update? So, we're just gonna go into it. In terms of robot mode, I think both are insanely good figures. Ironhide is pretty much all of the details and coloration that Ironhide usually has, but this is kind of like a G1 but cool. That's kind of how I view the War for Cybertron line, because that guy right there, right over there, that is G1 accurate to a T. And I know the new Magic Square figure's better slightly. I might make a video comparing the two. It's like MP44 and TO1, comparisons, but they're even closer. But then you have this, and it just takes a little bit more liberties with the design. Like, he's a bit blockier, he's a bit more buff. The only real change is that these black parts should be gray, and that's it. I think even these hands, well, I mean, his hands were light gray. Oh well, it's a pretty accurate robot mode. It's pretty cool. I like his anatomy. I think this is a better robot mode than the Masterpiece, because the Masterpiece was really gangly and really awkward and kind of looked stupid, whereas this guy is genuinely pretty cool. And then you take a look at the head sculpt, and it's really nice. It's Ironhide, but he looks cool. I think the head is the red helmet is a little on the tall side, but it just makes him look more like a hard ass, and I quite like that. And yeah, in terms of general sculpt, this is a very nice Ironhide to have. But when you compare the new one, it's somehow even better. This might be the best robot mode on any Ironhide ever. The only issue is he's got a little bit of back kibble, but like, if you're going to complain about this, you're kind of a joke. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I guess he has more back kibble, leg kibble, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And from the front especially, I mean from all angles, but the front especially, he is probably the best Ironhide sculpt ever. His anatomy, it looks a little bit more smooth than this. Head sculpt is also insanely good. And his chest, probably the most accurate part, or the most important part to get his accuracy right. Like, the Masterpiece was straight up just the entire front part of the truck, which looked a little weird. This one is kind of like a weird sloped belly, but this is perfect. They got it down perfectly. He also has the correct hip design, which is nice, because this is actually accurate to the toy. He had like this weird gray part, and I realize I'm doing this to his... yeah, let's just move on. It's so goddamn clean. It basically takes the design cues from the Masterpiece, and which is the best part of that figure, but combined it with the anatomy of this guy and improved it on both accounts. It's a really, really good robot mode. It's one of the best in Studio Series history. Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with the just a black gun. It's not really... I don't think it's... No, this is a toy accurate gun. It came with the sled. And speaking of sled, he comes with the giant part of the car, because you have to parts form it to turn it into a shield. Now, parts forming is usually a big no-no, but, controversial opinion, this isn't that bad. Number one, Ironhide is known to parts form. In fact, I've seen people even say, I wish this part could parts form so it could turn into a sled. That's nowhere near enough to turn into a sled, but whatever. But also, it actually turns into a convincing weapon. Like, this looks like a riot shield. The only issue I have with it is the peg. I mean, you plug it right there. That's too low, and even then, it's kind of awkward of a reach, and you can't... There's, like, nothing he can use to hold on. Which, if you could hold it like this, that'd be a really good shield. It'd be very convincing, but either you can put it on the side, or we'll put it off to the side, just to get a side-by-side look at him. Yeah, he's better, but this is still pretty good, too. He just comes with very nice, show-accurate weapons, and he gets two. I remember people were like, oh, why doesn't he come with two? He only comes with one. And, well, now he's got two, so that's really good. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody when I do that voice. I just think it's a funny voice. I'm not a bully. This is not a bully video. Okay, so let's get over posability. His head's on a ball joint. It can look back and forth. Not really up and down. It's basically a glorified swivel. Whereas this one kind of has like a hinge and almost a neck. I love when Transformers have necks. You know. Like this guy. Focus. There you go. You see that? Oh, he's a bit his mask is a bit rusty. It's whatever. But yeah, he's actually got a neck. I like when Transformers have that. And while he doesn't really have that, I mean, he can actually look up and down. So he can basically be like the Universe figure. Also like how smooth his arms are. It's really nice. I know they're a bit basic, but I don't know. I just kind of like it. So yeah, his head's a little better. He's got shoulders that rotate all the way around, and they can go out a little bit, pretty good range. Whereas he can rotate all the way around. These joints feel nice and tight, and they go out only that far. But there's detail that connects the arms, so it doesn't look disconnected. That's really, really cool. He's got, of course, just a standard bicep swivel and a little above 90 degrees and a wrist articulation. So that's nice. Bicep swivel, bend in the elbow, just straight 90. It's a little worse, but it's like so little it doesn't really matter. And then the wrists articulate. Well, damn. Put that back in your hand. You're about to be on your deathbed. You're about to be on your deathbed, Ironhide. You need to look your most built. Different. Because with what Megatron's about to do, you're going to be very built different. And toy accurate. Yeah, very funny joke. Waist articulation. That's nice. And this one also has a wrist swivel. But I think due to transformation, you can have an arching back if you really want. But that's just for transformation. This guy can... Legs go forward that far, and back that far. So, that's pretty nice. His legs, you have to lift this up. I really wish, it almost looks like these pieces are almost individually moved. No, it's just one small piece. One solid piece, which is unfortunate. Forward, back. Compare the two. This one's a little better. Legs go out all the way. Maybe a little more than that, but all the way is fine. Same with this. Oh, that's perfect 90s. This dude's like the master of perfect 90 degrees. That's actually impressive. Proud of you. Thigh swivel, bend in the knee, and yeah, we'll talk a little. The feet need to go more in depth. He's got a thigh swivel, but he's got kind of that Transformers RED thing where it's like in the middle of the leg, but like they got square legs, so it just looks cut. But it's not as bad as like an RED figure. I wish it was a little higher, though. And, oh. Disgusting. 90 degree knee bend. And, well, let's take a look at the feet. Amazing pivot. Amazing. I mean, that's perfect. Well, it could go a little farther, but, hey, it's fine. It's not bad. It's pretty good. And this guy, well, his feet can move forward and... down there. And these even pop out to accommodate, but that's just for transformation. So guess what? Oh, wait, move that up. Steppy poses! That's really nice. No ankle swivel at all. But his pivots are kind of weak. I mean, you can kind of extend it a little further, but like, this is about as far as the pivot. Okay, well. That's about as far as it'll go. So that's how far he can go with both feet flat on the floor. I'll do this one just to make it symmetrical. I don't know how to activate it. Whereas this guy can do all the way. So yeah, he's got worse ankle pivots, but his ankles can do a bit more, so it's a toss-up. In terms of articulation, I don't know. They're about even. I'm not keeping score right now. This is a unscripted review, as you can clearly tell. What's up, cat? Yeah, that's an unscripted moment. He's got better head articulation. His feet can do more, but his feet can spread more, if you know what I'm talking about. So overall, the robot modes are both very nice. So let's get to the dreaded part, the transformation. Before we do that, I want to show you something cool that this guy can do. You can move this down, unplug the head, and untab this, and rotate this around, move this down, and he has a Diaclone mode, or at least toy accurate mode. And if you transform this, and technically this would have to go on its side to be show accurate, but or toy accurate, but I mean, it's whatever. And if you have two ratchets from Siege, first off, nice to know you robbed the fucking bank, but you can set this up on both sleds. I do have one Siege ratchet, but I'm not bringing it out for this review. But you could totally plug it on here, and you could probably do like this. Oh God, what was that noise? That sounded terrible. But you could do that. I mean, the sled is still way too small compared to the original toy, but it's a bonus mode, and the fact that it can do this at all makes it kind of almost a definitive Ironhide. I mean, this guy can't do that. You can't even swap the head because of all the shit that's in there. That's not a bad thing. So yeah, bonus points just for that. Now let's get to the real transformation, and we're actually almost done. We are going to rotate this back. I've neglected to mention, but like the waist swivel, it's pretty cool. Like everyone talks about how bad this figure's engineered, but I mean, the War for Cybertron mold is pretty damn cool. It's fun as well. Open that up. Alright. And plug that in. And you gotta make sure everything's plugged in, and also push this in because this will be an important plug. And just plug all of this in. And there you go. That's his transformation, which actually isn't too bad. It's a bit simplistic, and obviously has parts forming, but it's at least fun. Now, we gotta get on to this guy's transformation, which is one of my least favorite transformations ever. Now, to be fair, most of it is really cool and pretty fun. But there is one step. Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I eat? Anyways, there's one step on this figure that makes it It's just one step, but we'll get there. And I think you already know what it is. So, it's the one fatal flaw with this figure. So, yeah. Transformation. Okay, so you open this up just like normal. And I think it's kind of cool that when you fold it in, like clicks into place. That's really cool. And look how seamless that is. This figure is just so clean. Alright, let's open this up. And open this out. And it's kind of cool. There's this that comes out. I mean, there's so much care put into the engineering. So I don't want to slag off the and that's not a British humor, that's a Transformers thing, because you know, slag is their curse word. I don't want to slag off this figure, the engineering entirely, because it is very clever. Let's go with the arms. I don't know if you have to turn them around or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm just doing it to make the final step as enjoyable or as painless as possible. And when you fold this up, it's kind of hard to figure out how to get this aligned because I naturally want to have it downwards, but you got to move it up, but it'll be connected and it'll be a little annoying. Just make sure it's smooth across. It's smooth across. See, there's no seam. It's as smooth on this as possible. Maybe that might be it. Maybe I didn't do it the first or second time quite enough. There you go. And then tab it in place. Bend the arms down. This will kind of plug into place. Actually, that won't plug in anytime soon. It doesn't even want to fold in. Why is that? What are you doing? What's the matter, Ironhide? Come on. But anyways, yeah. This is kind of cool. Untab that, and it kind of has another weird swivel right here, but it can kind of clash with these parts, so yeah, watch out for that. And then there you go. Look at that. Cab formed completely from the back. That is really cool. We got an entire cab out of there. We went from a show-accurate chest to like a full-on front of the cab without faux parts. And I don't mind faux parts, but when you're able to pull something off like this really well, that's just as impressive. Because a lot of people like to write off faux parts as cheating, but like it takes a lot of work and effort to like hide it, and I don't think it's really that big of an issue. Oh, by the way, you do this, and yeah. Also untab this, and that will come forward. We'll just get out of the way. Slide this into place. Oh yeah, also fold this up. And just tap it in. There you go. Not too easy, not too hard, right? No. There's also another step that I don't really like, but it's not really that bad. I don't know why I don't fold this up. I also might want to fold this up. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You could technically save this for last. I'm just gonna do it right now. And one thing I find annoying is plugging this in because it's made a way where it's not meant to like, come on, tab in like that. You kind of got to do it like that, but then it untabs it. And it can sometimes, you got to make sure these are plugged in. Okay. And then, it's not that bad of a step. It's not that bad. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to quote Bolt Matrix. You know what? I could be doing it wrong. Okay. There you go. There you go. Back to the cab's done. And you're going to want to push this in. And you want the, yes, as weird as it looks, you want the body to look like this. So now here comes the hard part. So you're going to want to fold this up. And there's two tabs that this will plug into. So there's a little tab hole right here and tab right there. And also there's a tab hole right there and a tab right there. Now on this side, it goes in just fine. See, it's all the way in. This is lined up. That's good. That's good. And you're going to need all the good clearance you want. But this side, well, it won't peg in. It will not peg in. I mean, once I have this in, it's not that big of an issue. But you got to, now I have to hold this in as well as the final step. And this is the hard one. You see, you have to fold this over these tabs. And for some reason, they put big, thick hooks on them. And you want to slot it into here, which has very small clearance. And it's not like a thing where you can push it down because this is only a single joint. It's not double jointed. So it's very hard. I've literally, look at this. I've already stressed the plastic by pushing down on it that hard. I'm going to do this off camera. Hold on. Fucking Christ. Come on. Just this fucking step. Fucking piece of shit. Oh, I did it. Oh, boring. Okay, tabbed it in. Sorry I didn't do that on camera. There's no way I'm doing that on camera. These sides are going to be very mangled. I mean, granted, they don't really show up in robot mode, but yeah. And finally, very easy. This doesn't even tab into place. It just slides in, and it locks in very well. So transformation. It's fun. It's pretty cool. But oh, also untabbing this is not very fun or easy too. There's no way, nothing to hold on, nothing to pull on. You gotta get your fingernail in there, and it's not fun. And this doesn't want to fucking slide in. Yay! I got unlucky. But in the end, I still applaud Hasbro. You did a good job. The engineering is really cool. And the fact that this thing, despite being the same height, has basically this entire extra piece integrated into the robot. Good job. No, I'm serious. Good job. So now let's get into the big separation. The big difference. The alt modes. So let's first go over we gotta move this down a little bit. Let's just go over the Earthrise one. People love to rip on this thing, which is fine. It has its definite issues. Also, this one's custom made. I got this one for $50, and it was a fucking custom. It came with 3D printed wheels, so it looks better. That's really nice. The back wheels roll really nicely, but these, yeah. It's mostly just slides. Roll, you fucking... See, that almost wants to roll, but these are just too thick. I mean, whatever. It's resin, not plastic. But yeah, let's talk about the vehicle mode, because a lot of people have criticized it for valid reasons. It has some issues, but some people have said it's like Universe 2 Ironhide level bad. No. Alright, so let's go over some of the... We'll work up our problems from least good to actually bad. I mean, from not that bad to, yeah, you got a point. First up, all the little panel lines like this one, I don't care. It's not a big issue for me. Also the wheels. I mean, obviously this isn't the wheels that came with it, so I'm not going to give it credit for this. But, and if I would, I'd give him shit that it doesn't fucking roll well, but that's just... I could probably sand down the resin. I mean, the normal wheels, I'm fine with. I can see why it'd be annoying to some people. The fact that it's like an Earth-based vehicle mode, but they got, well, this... And the wheels that roll... and on the Cybertronian wheels, it does make it look kind of half-assed. So I can get it, but I don't really mind. At least it rolls well, you know. That's all I'm not gonna get hung up on the wheels. Oh, this one has a mushroom peg. This one doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. All right, now we're gonna go on to the actual issues. You know, you have inconsistent colors. I don't care. This is a minor quip. It's a minor qualm. But, you know, you got the clear stuff, and then this isn't painted. This doesn't even... They painted part of the window, the back window, but it's fucking cut off. We'll talk about that in a second. And if it sounds like I'm being very negative, I'm just hyper right now. Not really that big of an issue, but half of this is clear, the other half is just red plastic. Yeah, I can see. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is bad, but I don't think it makes it a terrible alt mode. Now let's talk about the things that make it a terrible alt mode. Okay, that's far. First up, the color plastic's terrible. Like, okay, listen. This not being the same color as this, it's fine. From a far glance, it looks about the same. This looks slightly off, but look how tiny it is. It's not that bad. What the fuck is this? This is not even red. This is purple. Why is Ironhide purple? Why is he purple? It's not even a cool purple. Like a royal purple. It's a fucking ugly burgundy. Why? Alright, granted, this was like 2020. We're having a plastic shortage and fucking COVID virus. I'll give you a pass on that. We were in a pandemic. It's okay. It's okay. But, I can't defend this. Does it ruin the alt mode? Not really. It's just bad. It's just bad design, though. You can get granted, you can get feet replacements that are easier, like 10 times easier to get than the actual fucking figure itself. In fact, I think more feet upgrade exists more than the actual fucking figure itself. Because a lot of these are probably at the bottom of the ocean. I'm gonna go scuba diving to get more and sell them for like $500 a pop. No, I'm just kidding. And when you get those, it's not bad. I mean, it's got the unpainted plastic, but who cares? I think my favorite ones are the ones that you have to like bend, but you also have to parts form it by swapping the toes. I don't really like those. There's ways to fix it, but just because you can fix it, just like the wheels, doesn't mean the issue isn't there. So yeah, but let's defend it because it's not a useless alt mode. Oh, also some people complained, "Oh, the level is not the same. It's not the same." Shut up! It's not that big of it's a nitpicking. You're nitpicking. The windmill in the Teletubbies reboot does not have the same fucking dimples. Stop. Just stop. I'm losing my mind. This transformation made me lose it. But I like the shape. I like the shape. It's big. I mean, this is like a Mega class figure. Or Mega, one of my fucking Beast Wars kids. This is a Voyager class figure, basically. It's still a bigger alt mode. It's nice. It's big. It's cute. And I like the round shape of it. It's very tall. So even if it's a little bit crap, it's not unsalvageable. I still think it's a nice alt mode for Ironhide. Really, the only major issue is... yeah. I think the mold itself, other than... is pretty damn good. So, let's talk about the new one. Now, I could complain about the one fucking thing that nobody will stop shutting up about. It doesn't have the yellow stripe, but it does have the molding, so if you want to paint it on yourself. But I mean, like, it's not because they ran out of budget. It's like, look at this thing. Look at it. Look at this. It would look ugly. Or as my favorite YouTuber in the world, Prime vs. Prime, say, ghastly. I'm not making fun, I just think it's funny. And there's also a very minor color difference. Also, this feels like a Mini Mates figure. It's really chalky. I don't know why. And this is unpainted. It's unpainted. It's okay. Shh. My main problem with the actual alt mode itself, though, is it's really long, and that's just because it's a lot shorter, but it's about the same length, you know, unless you count the, oh, I can't turn it. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. But there is one thing that's really cool about this, other than the fact that there's like a split here. This is one of the only mainline Ironhides where it has all of the windows, and they're all the same color. Like, even the Masterpiece, this one, half of it was red. Oh, but what about the G1? The G1 part's formed! That doesn't count. That doesn't count. But yeah, this one, it's all incorporated. And, well, I mean, this is still kind of visible, but it's kind of cool. A lot of people like to say, oh, G1 Ironhide, how hard could it be? How hard could it be? It's a bricky robot that turns into a brickish alt mode. How bad can it be? Well, it's got windows here that are very evident. And they don't incorporate into the robot mode unlike fucking Prowl. And also his robot mode is literally a robot with no minivan parts except for the chest. And whenever they do have extra kibble, you'll fucking complain about it. If these windows are slightly off, you'll fucking complain about it. That's why he hasn't had a good figure. I think these are both good, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, this is unpainted. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I feel like this guy could use a buzzworthy Bumblebee re-release, and just like the Cliff Jumper, all of this... First off, don't make these parts fucking blue plastic and then paint over it. Just make it red and paint the windows. It'll be okay. And then you don't get rid of the fucking hooks here. It's okay. I'm sorry. I ate a lot of cereal. No, it's not true. I don't eat cereal. But yeah, I think it's still pretty good, and as if you paint the yellow part, it look really nice and fine. The one issue that I have is that the top parts, it's got... I know why it's there, it's for Ratchet, but like, you know, you got that, and it's peg holes, which I'm fine with. When it actually has pegs, it looks a little distracting. Not that big of a deal, but whatever. Also, how the fuck are they going to do Ratchet? Because these parts split apart. Maybe the actual... like, hospital siren part will disconnect as well. Who knows? Who knows? It'll be very interesting. It's got a little bit of undercarriage. Again, that's not a major issue. It does have some hinges here. It's fine. Overall, I think both these vans are pretty satisfying. This one is, of course, better. And honestly, I'm going to say I don't mind the lack of a yellow stripe. I don't know why. This gives me MP10 vibes. This gives me MP44, where it's like, oh, the lack of a stripe almost feels cartoon accurate. I know it's not, but that's just kind of how I feel. And considering like the high quality paint, like the red, kind of feels like a high quality figure. So yeah, it feels like MP44, but it was Ironhide. That is really fucking stupid. That's not a point, but it's how I feel. Now let's go over the weapons integration. They both have two methods, so you can ugly it up by plugging it on the top. And you can actually get what's really cool is, despite the fact they go inward, you can get the pegs touching. They don't clash with each other, they're touching. Aw, well actually they're not touching. So wholesome, it's so wholesome. Shut up. And yeah, that looks bad, but it's okay, because they both have saving graces. So if we take this off... I don't know why it's not doing... Oh yeah, I'm on camera, and when you're on camera, these things just don't want to cooperate. That's how that is. Just take it off. Okay, why is this... Jesus fucking Christ. There we go. Okay, so there's a little tiny peg right there, and you can take the gun and plug it in and plug it on. Of course, on camera, it doesn't really want to do it. It shouldn't impede on anything. It shouldn't. It's just, oh yeah, that's why. Okay, pop that back into place. This is a mess of a video, but that's okay. We're comparing fucking toys. It's alright if it's not that professional right now. And then as for this guy, apparently, yeah, there's just little pegs on here. You can peg under. Interestingly, it's not using 10mm peg holes. So he doesn't really have any of that on his robot mode. So that's kind of how a Studio Series is. Maybe that's the giveaway. They don't have 10mm pegs, so they're not like weaponizer compatible. He still rolls fine. So now their weapon storage, and it doesn't ugly up the alt mode. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. I love you. I'm not kissing you because you gave me pain. So that's it. And well, what do I think of both? Well, I think they both have their massive pros and a couple of cons, but not Decepticons. That was the dumbest thing I ever said. This guy's got a really cool robot mode. He's got the optional Diaclone mode that's really nice. His transformation is simple and fun. And yeah, it does parts for him, but I'll live. Alt mode has subscriptions, but I still think it works well enough. And it actually looks like Ironhide, which is not something I could say about Universe 2 Ironhide, so shut the fuck up! And as for this guy, I have nothing bad to say about the robot mode. It's perfect, and it's really good, and it's the best robot mode we've ever had. Transformation is really good, except for the parts that make me want to fucking kill myself. Maybe I just need to get better at it. I don't know. And the vehicle mode is very nice, although it does have some minor issues, minor qualms. Which one's the winner? I mean, it's obviously a Studio Series, but just because one figure is better does not mean that this one is bad. If this mold was widely available, I'd say it's still worth getting because, you know, some people are like, oh, I don't like this thing. Oh, even though it's better than most deluxes in terms of engineering and it's fucking huge in alt mode, I think this thing's not worth it. And that's fair opinion. I know I made fun of you by giving you a silly voice, but I'm just stupid. Don't worry about that. But, if you genuinely don't like that, then I'd find this guy. Now, granted, he is pretty hard to get. I mean, $70, $80. I got $50 for mine, and it was a custom. It came with custom wheels. So that was nice. And it came with the original wheels. I think I misplaced it somewhere. I don't feel like putting them on. I'm fine with these. At least it's nice to have. And I'm not giving this guy up. It's good to have. It's okay. I'm okay with having two of a character. I'm about to have fucking 4 whenever they release the Ratchet, because I have the Core Class, the Earthrise, and the Siege, because I found the Siege one day in a Walmart in fucking 2021, and I am not making that shit up. Pretty cool. And then I'll get the Voyager Earthrise, because who's a sucker? Me. No, not you. Me. So, I can't recommend this only because of the price. But if you can find it for a good price, I mean, it's a nice collector's item, and it's not too bad itself. I think it gets way too much hate. If I had to rank them, well, I'd give this guy from F to S. I'd give him an B. No, an A minus. Yeah, an A minus. And the only reason he is an A minus is because this, actually. Because the Ratchet itself, I think, is a little better, although it's lacking a bit more color. But this guy, I'd give like an S+. This is very good, except for the fucking clips. But if you don't have a figure that has like a defect with this peg, then it's a very nice figure. Is it figure of the year for me like I thought it'd be? Not sure, I'll have to think about that. It's definitely not my favorite figure that I picked up. I'll make, at the end of the year, my top 10 favorite Transformer pickups. Maybe I might do 15. I got so much good shit this year. So yeah, that's going to be it. Bye. And Ironhide's pretty cool. Oh, also, let me end this with one more thing. If you still unironically think we don't have a good Ironhide figure, because this guy's got a couple of issues, you're spoiled fuck.